for you, babe.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. It is week 18, the final week of the regular season. Some teams care, some teams have their bags packed and don't care. We got to figure out the plays that work. We got Willie Walls with me. We got Odell Blocker, the Great Swame, with me. Willie, it's a new year. Are you winning this week? Do you have the plays to make it happen?
Yes, we do. It's time. We are 13 months pregnant. It's time for us to do something this week. We got the plays for you.
All right, Swami, are you confident that you know the players who are playing versus the guys who are going to be sitting on the sideline enjoying their rest before the playoffs start?
I think we got the people we think going to be in there, right? We all know the teams that has something to play for. As far as the playoff scenarios, what we don't know is the teams that got something to play for because coaches might not be here next year and some players might not be here next year. So that's where I think the money is.
And kudos to FanDuel by putting Buffalo, Miami on the main slate. I like that. And I have a play for that game that will be in every FanDuel lineup since they playing that at 8 o'clock. I mean, at 8 o'clock. I like that.
All right, can't wait to hear it. Let's get it started. The Jets against the Patriots. I think we know the cast of characters here, right? We know Zeke. We know Breece Hall. We know Garrett Wilson. Willie, do you feel good about any of those three guys?
Pass.
All right.
Pass.
All right. Swami, do you feel better than Willie does about any of those guys?
Next. It is not anything about either one of these teams and the way they're playing that's impressive right now. There's no reason to waste any more time with them this year. Let's go ahead and close the book on these guys for 2023 season.
All right, Cleveland's playing Cincinnati. There are certain players. Maybe it's Pierre Strong. Maybe it's David Bell. Maybe it's none of the above. Any interesting guys from this game, Swami?
I'm not interested in the third string offenses. I just feel like if anything, Cincinnati might still be out there kind of playing. I would probably lean more to their side than the Browns. These teams that's taking a week off for the playoffs and just trying to get through the game without any injuries. I don't particularly like any of them, and I definitely don't like Cleveland.
Willie, Swami mentioned, he doesn't like the third string players, but what about the first string guys like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, guys like that?
Pass.
Right.
I'm just
don't waste time with you. All right, Atlanta goes down to New Orleans. It's a 42 spot. Both teams need to win to stay in this bad boy. Carr, Willie, Olave, Kamara. The Falcons' defense is better than we give it credit for. Do you like any players? Maybe Rashid Shaheed, Drake London,
the
Bijan?
only one that I will have a little interest in is the tight end.
Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, that's it. The rest of it is a pass for me. If I had to have one, that'd be the only one.
Swami, is it a hard no for you, a hard pass?
I think I would disagree slightly with Willie. I'm not interested. I think he's talking about Johnson, even though he returned to practice. I'm not interested in him. I was on him kind of last week. He's still probably, I think, viable. If I had to pick somebody, though, it's probably I'm leaning more towards maybe Olave and maybe London. I would even say an outside shot going back to your boy this week, and I'm talking about Robinson. But they the only three players I think are viable. I'm not going to the tight end this week.
If you go to Robinson on this slate with this dude, you must be nuts. Not only no, but hell no. That's why I said the only one I'm interested in is Johnson if I had to play anybody. Most likely this will be a pass too, but Johnson is viable.
Robinson was a long shot. I'm saying if I pick two pieces from this game, it would be Olave and London. I just think they are viable.
Yeah, but you shouldn't mention Robinson's name. Robinson's name
He's
should
a
be
long shot play. He's a man of interest. What do you mean?
I'll give you a long shot play. I'll give you a bet I like. How about betting Rashid Shaheed over for receptions? I think it's like 2.5. You don't think he can get 3?
Yeah, I guess so.
Doc, I don't know if he's a third cousin or what, but we mention this guy a lot based on what he does fantasy-wise.
Third cousin twice.
He does. He's
on suspension.
Double-digit fantasy points like in 3 games or something this year.
That bastard's
but he
on
gets
suspension.
a mention every week. I want to say.
Because if he hits, he explodes.
Yeah, but he gonna explode. He also gonna explode all your damn hands in your lineup.
Messy. All right, let's get to Jacksonville against Tennessee. So look, Jacksonville needs this game. Do we like Calvin Ridley? Maybe Christian Kirk is back in this one. Maybe Trevor Lawrence, maybe ETN, maybe Derrick Henry in his last game for the Titans. Swami, can you get behind any players here?
If Trevor Lawrence plays, I can get behind the Jaguars, absolutely. I don't know about Kirk just coming back in that first game. I know Ridley went off the last time. Lawrence went off the last time. You could talk me into Ingram. If all of them will play, Mr. ETN might even be a man of interest. But I definitely will play a Lawrence Ridley if Lawrence is healthy. The other side, I don't really trust the Titans at all. I wouldn't be mad if you tried to come up with some scenario where you play the other side, but it's hard to trust the Titans right now.
Willie, do you agree with that? This game kind of smells to me.
Man, listen, pass. I'm passing all that stuff. I don't trust Lawrence because he'll break in there. He'll do something to get out of the game. Hell no, because I got better fish to fry. We got some people in the later games. Thank you. I am not touching this game. No, thank you.
All right, here's a game that I think is interesting. Minnesota against Detroit. Now, Detroit doesn't need the game, but Minnesota does. Nick Mullins threw for 414 yards the last time these two teams played. Justin Jefferson is there. Is this, Willie, a hookup that you're willing to, let's say you have 20 lineups, how many will have Mullins to Jefferson?
I will have at least 4 or 5 of them with Mullins and Jefferson. I can see Mullins. Mullins is definitely a man of interest going against Detroit. They need the game, or I can have Mullins, or I can have Jefferson. I like Jefferson a lot in this game. That's what I like. He went for, matter of fact, they have got pummeled by so many receivers these last games. Oh man, let me see. So since they returned from bye week 9, Detroit has given up Keenan Allen 11, 17, and 2. Moore 796 and 1, 668 and 1 rushing touchdown. Christian Watson 594 and 1, Olave 519. Then Lamb just went off for 13, 227 and 1. Jefferson the first game had 6, 141 and 1. Yes, they are, man. He is a man of interest. Mullins is a man of interest. Those are the 2 people that I like in this game.
Swami, would you bring it back with St. Brown? Would you bring it back with Gibbs? Or do we not need to bring back here?
I like St. Brown in this game. I like him probably as much, maybe even a slight bit more than anybody else in the game. I just think that he's in a good spot as well. In the way that I think you can beat the Vikings is going to be with what St. Brown does. I don't think it's going to be – I don't think the backs are just going to run over him in this game.
Here's my question, and this is – I think everybody out there may have the same question. We love St. Brown. He's a great player. But is he motivated? In Week 18, what's the motivation for him to go and get 10 for 150?
They have none. They're going to probably sit their guys down in the second half. They have none. So that's why I can't at that price point. I can't have nobody play half the game.
Oh, is that something that you think is going to happen half the game? If he's half the game, then it's they out. Then at that point,
I don't know, but I think it's a question that people are going to have, right? The Lions don't really. It doesn't matter to them. The game doesn't really matter. St. Brown they need for the next week in the playoffs. I mean, are you ready to risk it?
I mean,
no. Then I wouldn't risk it.
All right. I feel the same way. Like, I need certainty here. It's Week 18. I don't need to mess around. I need guarantees.
That also changes, because the question was, would you bring it back with anybody? And the assumption there is that the game has a certain type of pace. If again, any game where any of these teams are just looking to get out and they're not going to play at all, I know some of these teams haven't been sharp. They didn't want to go into the playoffs, not stumbling in, and the Lions could be in danger of that. They're not playing the kind of football right now where they can just say, "Oh, we can just shut it down." So
I agree with you.
They're
So
not going to shut it down. They're going to play for a half. See, this is the thing. Their destiny was clinched with that Dallas thing. In order for them to move up, Dallas and Philadelphia has to lose, and that's
it's possible.
What about a Josh Reynolds? What about a Khalif Raymond? I mean, is Reynolds involved in this offense at all?
Well, without Jameson Williamson, he probably is, but we don't. Like I said, we don't know, and we also got other people that we know are probably going to play the full game that we could get at the same price point. You know what I mean? So, and this right here, it's a pass for me, but definitely for Minnesota because they still have a shot. I think they're going to try to end up on a thing, and I think Jefferson. So I do think Mullins is definitely a man of interest.
I do too. Do you worry, Willie, at all that maybe it's halftime and the Lions are winning 21-6, and Jefferson at that point is like, dude, I don't want to be out here with Nick Mullins. I'm going to get myself hurt. I'm done.
First of all, then I made a mistake by playing Jefferson. If they have 21-6, those bastards better be getting some balance from Jefferson because he needs to stay in that game. Because to me, Minnesota should be motivated because they have to win to even have a shot to be in the playoffs.
Right. Okay. I'm with you. I just am raising concerns.
Yeah, I get it.
Tampa Bay is playing Carolina, 37.5 points. So let's talk about some individual plays. Swami Rashad White has been gold all season. Are they going to give him the ball a ton? Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. On the other side, Jonathan Mingo, our friend Mingo, is on the IR. Is this a DJ Chark or Adam Thielen week? Is this a Chuba Hubbard week? Is this a game that could be sneakier than people think, Swami?
Short answer, I don't think White and Evans are sneaky. I think the only sneakiness you'll find is maybe on the Carolina side. I think this week, White and Evans are definitely on the radar. I think if you talk about somebody sneaky, you're talking about more the Panther side. I think Chuba could be sneaky. I know Walls doesn't like him, but I think he could be sneaky. I do not trust the passing game at this point. And I definitely don't. With the price, you're not mad at, hey, taking a chance on, going back to Chark. It's not like you're taking a huge chance, but you don't really like that passing game very much.
Willie, I don't want to play Rashad White, not because I don't like him, but I think I can find a couple of guys who are cheaper, and then I could get some of those big receivers in my lineup. Are you committed to White or not?
I think he'll be in. I think he's probably going to be a core for me. And this is the reason why. They've given up 25 TDs to backs. 25. That's a lot. 25 TDs to backs. White, yeah, I hope everybody feels that same way because he burned everybody last week. Especially in season long. I was the one that bastard. You know what I mean? He got his 5 points. We can't look at that. They're going against the Panthers. You know what I mean? They get pummeled by backs. So he should be a guy of interest, to me. I mean, he's going to be a guy of interest to me for sure. I understand what happened last week, but I can't go. That's why we play another week. I mean, I'm definitely interested in White more than I am with the receiving game. You know what I mean? I mean, if I had to go somebody to receivers, I'd be looking at somebody like at Palmer, something like that. A Palmer, or
I'm not paying up for Evans.
Huh?
I'm not paying up for Evans.
No.
You said a Palmer.
Trey Palmer.
He
wants to drink and honor Palmer.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, if I had to go to the passing game, the point being is I'm interested in White. This is, I'm not going to get too cute about it. 25 touchdowns to backs.
White is the best running back on the board. I don't even think it's a question, right? And then in terms of projections, he's right there. All right, let's get to
some crazy numbers real quick, Doc, on Evans. 43, 25, 23. Just some of the numbers that Mike Evans has done against his team over his last 4 games. With the kind of things that he do to the Panthers in a game that they need on the road for some reason, he just strikes me as a man of interest. That's all I'm saying on Mike Evans. I wouldn't just throw him away because he's somebody on the slate that can have a ceiling game, and he's had a great year. He's done it all year.
But I think ceiling games, right? Would you agree ceiling game Lamb is 1? Is Tyreek 2?
Well, Tyreek is on. Actually, Tyreek does not kill Buffalo. Buffalo does a pretty decent job against Tyreek, and especially, what I think, and then this will lead to my play of the game for FanDuel, which we'll talk about later, because this game is not on the DraftKings slate. It's just on
short answer, no, not this week.
Is Jefferson 2?
Yes,
is AJ Brown 2, 3?
Not for me, no.
Without Devonta Smith there?
No. I think they're gonna. If I'm doing, I'm bracketing that bastard.
Yeah, who else to cover?
Julio Jones Roto, the original Roto child.
Who?
No.
All
right. How about
Mrs. Jones first?
No. Denver against the Raiders. Is Zamir White a must play? For me, he is lock button. Willie, agree or disagree?
Yeah, Zamir White against.
You don't like 20 touches?
Yeah, I do. Who's he playing again? Because I really wasn't.
They're playing Denver at home. They always play better at home.
Yeah, I know, but Doc, I think I might get this damn. At the 1 yard line, he throw the ball to who. Okay, I don't trust that. Nah, I don't trust it. I'm just saying I don't trust Mr. White. Not this week.
Swami, I trust Mr. White. I'm also going to give you a guy who I think is super sneaky. How about Austin Hooper? Cost you nothing, and it can allow me to get in 4 stud receivers.
Doc, the only Raiders or Broncos I'm interested in are John Elway and Tim Brown, and I don't think they're playing this week.
They were pretty good. Yeah. All right, there you have it. Swami and Willie are out. Okay, Kansas City against the Chargers. Please don't make me get physically ill here. Is there anybody on the Chargers that you like? What about this kid, Alex Erickson, at 3,700? He's a Willie Walls type of balls to the walls call with Erickson there. Do you like Mr. Erickson?
I did look at him, but I'm not playing him. I saw him, Mr. Because I'm gonna make you puke when I give you my tight end for the Rams, who I like this week. You'll see a little bit later this week. We didn't talk about him yet, but you'll get his name.
All right, Swami, do you like anything in this game here?
Doc, I fell on my sword last week. Made a critical mistake going with Austin Eckler. I think Walls pushed me to the edge of that cliff and watched me fall over. Because he cost me a little bit of money to take the league championship from me. I think it was a part of a conspiracy. So I am without question not interested in any Chargers at any point the rest of this year.
What about Chiefs? Do you think the Chiefs will play their starters at least for the first half to get a rhythm going?
I'm gonna tell you a guy who I got interest in this game, Richie James.
Let me answer it for you, Doc. No, and if they're
not playing their starters, but Richie James is
no, and if they did, it would be a drive or two at best. Even if they
no. Richie James is going to be playing the whole game.
I wouldn't. I don't care.
Blaine Gabbert's throwing the ball. Gabbert's throwing the ball
4 times. It could be Rick James. I'm not interested in him.
I'm just telling you to get what we might do if we're running a 4 receiver set. Richie James at $3,000 will be one of those guys.
Richie James, Lionel Richie.
I'm just telling you.
I'm telling
Richie
you,
James.
no.
Hey, Doc, you hear this right now. But when he gets 17 or 18 points, we mentioned Richie James. Richie James got talent,
James. Don't
and he's
put him on
$3,000. I'm just saying.
Heat says maybe Richie James.
It's week 18, and we're 1 for 17 of these moments.
I understand.
Okay.
But if we want to get our lamb in, you're gonna need to take like a couple of
Right.
shots.
Just like Kansas City was going to explode last week. I know.
What's the name?
Man, Swami, you are so right about that.
Yeah,
that was hard to watch. All right, let's move on here. Here's a game that's interesting. This game is interesting. We're getting to the interesting ones now. Seattle against Arizona. Seattle needs to win. Geno Smith has 2 million reasons to play well in this game. You know what I'm saying? What's his face? Kenneth Walker, who's got a bad shoulder injury, but he's got a good matchup. Lockett's done nothing for like the past month. Connor's in play. What are you thinking here? What are you thinking, Willie?
Now my lock button in this one is Connor. Lock. He's a lock button. Okay, Connor has been balling. See, now you're talking about something that's why I can't get with this Mr. Allen. I can't get with this Mr. Allen guy, but Mr. Connor, I could get it. 105, 89, 112, and 133 his last 4 games. Connor is scrappy. He's a baller. He's going to be there. Seattle has been getting nipped in the last 5 games. In the past 6 games, they're getting over 5 yards per attempt. They're 31st.
So would you stack Kyler, Connor, McBride?
I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to do Kyler, okay, but I definitely will have Connor, and I might have an interest on the other side. That was JSN?
JSN?
Yeah, on the other side.
But look, I love Smith and the Jigba, I do, but I feel like we haven't heard from Lockett in weeks.
Doc,
weeks.
And you're not. He's night. He is night. Listen, Lockett Mr. Lockett is on suspension. Listen, his age, he's 32 years old. And trust me, he has a $37 million contract next year. They already told him, if you think Russell Wilson was cut, your stinking ass is out of here as soon as we don't make the playoffs. You're gone, sir, unless you take $3 million. That's what they're doing.
Swami, would you go from $37 million to $3 million? Would you be good with that?
No.
They're going to cut him.
All right, Swami, do you like DK Metcalf? Do you like Geno Smith? Do you like JSN? Do you like anybody else? Do you like Walker? Talk to me, Swami.
So short answer is Walker is a man of interest. I don't have as much confidence in any one of the receivers, but as a group, I think they are of interest, which means that I think Geno and Walker in play. So you could probably put somebody with Geno. I'm not mad at JSN. I'm not mad even if you went with Lockett. I just think that Geno and one of those guys. I'm concerned about Walker's shoulder, but if Walker's healthy, I like Walker. And
Did you see them stretching him on the sideline last week? The dude was wincing.
Did not like it.
Yeah, see, that's I can't go with nobody who might be out of the game. I can't do it this week. That's
why I do like Con. I think I would agree with Willie. Con is probably a lock. I agree with you, Doc, that I'm not mad at McBride, and I think just because of how Murray's been playing, and they one of those teams that they're playing for next year already. Right. And so they want to say, hey, we got some pieces here. And I think Murray needs to play well in this game as well, so he becomes viable because of the matchup.
But listen. I tell you what, I will say this: have a little caution too, because if they win another game, they will go 5. They would drop out of that 4th position. So. Hopefully it's not going to be no shenanigans.
Look, I don't think they want to win. I don't. But then the question is, Seattle needs to win. They need to win.
No. I know. I get that. I love Connor.
What's the significance of the 4th position?
Well, you get one of those prize quarterbacks that come.
The prize quarterbacks that we get right every year.
Yeah, but Arizona doesn't want a prize quarterback. They like Kyler.
They get prize quarterbacks every year.
I'm just saying the 4th position. There was a little scuttlebutt about it, but listen, if not.
By the way, did you see Michael Penix on Monday?
Who?
The dude from Washington.
Yes, he could play.
Woo!
He's a man of interest.
Woo! Got no words for that dude. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
And a guy that's of interest to me on the other for Arizona too is Dortch.
Stop with the Dortch.
Dortch.
That's his
Dortch.
Rashid. That's his Rashid Shaheed.
Oh my God! My cheeks are on fire when I hear the word Dortch. Dortch. All right, let's get out of that game. It's making me sick. All right, Chicago against Green Bay. This is a 45 spot. Green Bay needs to get in. Jordan Love has a lot of reasons to play well, but Chicago is playing at a high level. Eberflus is playing for his job. Justin Fields is playing for his job. There are a lot of guys playing for a job there in Chicago, Swami. Do you like Herbert? Do you like DJ Moore? Do you like Fields? What's going on there for you?
Doc, this one is interesting. Is it obviously division game? Is a scrap. I think Fields, he definitely impressed last week in the snow. So all that talk about the Bears needing a quarterback, whoever thinks that in Chicago need to go find, something over the Lake Michigan and then jump off. There's no way you're trying to replace him. I mean, he was dropping dimes. That thing that him and DJ Moore got going on is something special. You want to build on and around that. They might want to identify somebody who can run the ball in the draft, not somebody who can throw. Anyway, so long story short, I think this will be a scrap. I think this could have some fantasy goodness. The fact that Green Bay was able to put 38 points up the last time, and I think Love is playing better, is interesting. Because I don't even think if his receivers, I know they've been going through some injuries and kind of next man up in. Like last week, they had some guy that knocked me out of first place I had never heard of. He had his NFL career game, whoever that joker was, number 80. But it's hard.
Bo Melton?
Yes, Melton. It's hard to nail down which receiver is going to come with Love. I like Tucker. I like the tight end. I like Kraft. I don't know if I'm interested in the backs, and then maybe Dobbs. But if you was to say how you want to do it, I think it's something here that we got to figure out. And I think I hope Walls got some insight on what he think on the Green Bay side, but on the Chicago side, I think that Moore and Fields combination is looking mighty interesting.
Now, Willie, let me ask you this question. Jair Alexander is back. Okay, we have not seen this guy play in weeks. This is a game they need to win. Are you telling me they're not putting Alexander on DJ Moore? It's not like Chicago has anybody else to throw to. Why would you not put Alexander and bracket him with a safety and not let Moore beat you?
He could. I mean, I'm not necessarily, because I have more interest on another back that I have not mentioned, Khalil Herbert, Mr. Herbert. His last two games, he 21, 12-1, and against the Falcons, which Falcons is no pushover defense, 18, 124-1. You understand what I'm saying? You could run the ball on Green Bay. So I do have interest in that. Now, the thing that's tricky with Green Bay is they got so many injuries at these receivers position. Now I heard that Watson is supposed to be coming back.
Yes.
So if he comes back, then that's going to take people down. I can't trust Reed. Damn, they hit him in the chest. He might be out. You know what I mean? So listen. Don't get me wrong. I love Reed. Reed is my guy, but you cannot be sucking Gatorade on the sideline and missing the second half for me in this week. You can't do it. Now, a guy that people are not talking about that is interesting is Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is interesting because what do Chicago struggle against? They struggle against receiving backs, right? Jones.
That is true. That is true. But they don't struggle against anything else defensively. They're pretty good. They're pretty good defensively.
That's why the receivers I don't really have interest in. But Aaron Jones is a guy that a lot of people might not be on. If you look at Aaron Jones, he looked good. And remember, in that first contest he had 2 catches for 98 yards. You remember he had that big screenplay.
And then he hurt his hamstring.
Then he hurt his hamstring. So what I'm saying is people have forgotten about that. So this might be a little nugget that we can look at in this game that, where we could be different and have a little Aaron Jones, because who's going to have Aaron Jones? You're not even thinking about it. But Chicago struggles mightily against running backs that catch the ball. And I think that with the receivers, and I think this is a way that we could go this game. I think that the receivers that they have hurt, I think they could use Aaron Jones more in the passing game.
Aaron Jones is 6,300, right? Are you playing him over Kenneth Walker?
I don't know.
You play him over Connor?
No, Connor. No, Connor's a lock.
You play him over Zamir?
Could be. I mean,
I'm giving you options. That's my job.
No, I think it's contrarian.
I just think it's 6,300. He ain't cheap.
Yeah, no, he's not cheap. But then this might be the guy that go for 2 touchdowns, catch 100 and something yards, and then run for 45. You know what I mean? You never know what he might do. This is how this thing works.
He was really good that first week before he hurt his hamstring. He was on fire. He had a rushing touchdown and 2 for 98 and a touchdown, and it was like a 75-yard touchdown. It was really good.
Yeah, but I mean, but let me say this: Chicago has gotten better on defense. I don't like doing, but the receiving backs out of the backfield is still a sore spot for this team.
Doc,
all right, Philadelphia is against the Giants here, guys. Philadelphia needs to play better. Right.
Swami got one more thing. Swami, go
ahead.
Just one more. Doc, I think I'm going to agree with Walls, and I'm going to go a little bit further and say that I think I would give them the nod over those other 2 guys because the offense is playing better. I like what I've seen that Jones has done over the last 2-3 games. I think he is getting healthy. I think he's the healthiest option, which means I think he's going to get 18-plus touches in the game. If he's able to get into the end zone or have, say 5+ targets, then I think he's in a good spot.
Are you playing Walker or Jones?
I think I'm gonna play.
No. Swami, you playing Walker or Jones?
If Walker is healthy, I'm playing Walker. I'm just concerned about.
Are you playing Connor or Jones?
Connor's in.
So everybody likes Jones, but nobody's willing to commit to Jones.
I'll commit to Jones.
I think I could play him if I could do a 3-back. I could go there or try him one time over. I could try him one time Connor and Jones. I could go Connor and Jones.
So out of 20 lineups, how many have Connor and Jones in them?
I could see doing it at 5, like Willie said, something like that, like 25.
Yeah. Doc, it could be a contrarian play the eye test. Listen, remember Minnesota's run defense wasn't that bad, and he was just that he looked like that. I think that time that he missed, Doc, did him a lot of good. His legs look fresh. I think this could be one of those things that we can use this week as a leverage play. Everybody will be on the other thing.
And lastly, DJ Moore, he only had 2 targets in week 1. I think they're going to find a way to get him more involved. His previous 2 games against Green Bay, 22 fantasy points and 24 fantasy points.
There you go.
So I think I'm taking an over, as Doc would say, on DJ Moore for more than 2 targets and more than 20 yards this week.
For sure. All right, let's get back to that Philadelphia against the Giants. Philadelphia needs to fix it right now. They're a mess. Hurts, Swift, A.J. Brown, Julio, Goddard, Willie. Do you like anything there? Do you want to bring it back with Saquon, Slayton, Waller maybe? Talk to me about this one.
I have more interest on the Giants side of the ball than I do the Philly side of the ball. I don't think they're going to let Brown beat him, and I don't trust any of those other bastards, to be honest with you. I don't trust Swift. I don't trust him. But I think that if we look at, you remember that game that they played before, the Giants gave him everything they had. And this was before what's his name came back, the quarterback. Remember, that game was a tight game. And you got to remember Saquon Barkley, this is when they started coming down against that run. You look at their run defense now, they've been getting smashed. You saw what Connor did to him last week. I guarantee you, the reason I can't go with Philly in this game, because I can guarantee you what's going to happen. My game theory is the Giants is just going to try to play keep away in this game. And therefore, and I think they will have success in this game with keep away, because I think Slayton.
Like short passes.
Right. Short passes, running Barkley. I think Barkley's going to get the ball 20-something times. That run defense has been getting pummeled in the last 3 or 4 weeks that people are not realizing.
All right, let's stop for a second. Is it unconscionable to give Barkley the ball 27 times?
No.
You're not trying to win anything. Your team stinks. Don't you want Barkley next year? Do I need to give him the ball 27 times in this game?
Hell yeah, I would do it. Because they trying to knock Philly. They try to knock Philly out so they don't have a chance for the division. This is a division game.
Swami, talk some sense.
I'm not saying I like him, but I don't like Philadelphia a lot in this game because I think they're going to be playing keep away. That's what I'm saying.
Doc, I'm not sure what's in old Willie's canteen, but I promise you, Doc.
Watch what I say.
Doc, it is 90 proof. Whatever is in old Willie's canteen there. Doc, not just no, but hell no.
I didn't say I'm playing the Giants. I'm just telling you what they're going to do. That's what
I
I'm
wouldn't
saying.
be mad if you said, again, Slayton might have one more big play in him. That's all it seemed like he's been getting each game is one big play and then 2 other catches. But at his price, that's been enough. And guess what? The Eagles could give up another big play. He hit him for 1 2 weeks ago. He could maybe hit 1 or 2 here as well. I'm not bad at that. But here's the truth. The Eagles are going to – it's a division game. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be some blood. It's going to be a couple of snot rockers. But the Eagles going to rough them up pretty good. The score is likely going to be something like 31-7. It's not going to be something.
But who are you going to play?
Who are you playing on the Eagles then, Swami?
If you play somebody in the Eagles, again, it's going to be 3 tush pushes and a touchdown pass to Goddard. It's just not the kind of game where I think you can, it's going to be 2 or 3 receivers.
So are you playing Hurts?
I can see
3 tush pushes.
I can see Ertz. What maybe Goddard. I don't like what Brown, but I can see Ertz, what Goddard, Ertz, what even the Ertz with. No,
see,
I don't.
You can't do that if you play.
I don't want to play Ertz, but if you're asking me, would you? Yeah, maybe. I just think Ertz is going to get something like 25 points. I don't think he's going to get up around 40.
The only point I'm making about the reason I made my point, Doc, is not necessarily that I don't like playing nobody for the Giants, but the point being is I think they could do enough where the Eagles, nobody really goes off in this game. So that's why I don't really have interest in this game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
This game, that's the whole point of it.
I'm with you there. All right. The Rams are playing the 49ers. I'll just tell you there's one 49er I'm in love with. I'm in love with Jordan Mason. I plan on putting him in a lot of my lineups. I do. Willie, you mentioned there's a Ram that you like. There's Carson Wentz there, which already makes me very nauseous.
But he does throw it to
really
the tight end.
Nauseous.
He does throw it to the tight end. And guess who's going to be the tight end for the Rams? And see, this is what nobody ain't looking at. He is the one that caught 4 or 5 balls against the Ravens.
Was it Davis Allen?
Yes, David Allen. At 2,500, he played 71% of the snaps. Okay. You got Carson Wentz. What does he do? He throws the ball to tight ends because he sucks. He throws the ball to tight ends. And what I'm saying is at 2,500, if you're trying to get Lamb or you're trying to get all these other playing Lamb and Jefferson in the same lineup, I'm just saying he's a man of interest to me in this game.
No, you're going to need a $2,500 tight end, Swami. You're going to need Hooper. You're going to need Davis Allen. You're going to need somebody cheap. Do you like Jordan Mason in this game?
Doc, what camera am I on?
Camera 2.
Camera 2, zoom in. All right, let's go. Let me put my telestrate up on the phone, up on the screen, Danger. Let me do a little flow chart. It goes like this. Team got anything to play for box? Yes or no? Soon as it go no, play players from that game. No. It's a simple flow chart here. We're not going to overthink it this week. It's too many teams that have something to play for. It's a few games in here where we know it's going to be back and forth and some fantasy goodness. Let's take very little from games where nobody's playing from anything or when teams don't have anything to play for. I don't care.
But to take down a tournament, sir, just so you know, you're going to need to have one of these $2,500 punts that nobody's looking at. And I'm telling you, David Allen is a guy that
Davis Allen.
$2,500 punts. You going to have to tell me when. As you know, Willie, I've looked at the tournament winners for the last 7 years, and I haven't seen a $2,500 punt.
But Swami, why wouldn't you want Jordan Mason if McCaffrey and Mitchell are out? Who's running the ball there?
Why isn't it just a 3 and out? What would make us believe that the third string guy is all of a sudden really just Eric Dickerson sitting back there and nobody knows who he is?
He's pretty good.
Listen, they're going to put
chance.
They're going to put what's the name, the second string running back in bubble wrap because they need him for the playoffs because they're not sure.
Right.
We got to make
Mitchell's
sure
not even
McCaffrey
sniffing
is
that field. He's not
Yeah,
sniffing
so
it.
Jordan Mason is going to get a majority. And then where they run that offense, I'm just telling you.
Okay. I mean, if y'all think the game's going to be competitive and some back and forth, then sure, you take Jordan Mason. I'd play Jordan Mason first. Or if you think it's going to be some points scored. I just don't like these games where nobody's
This is a 41, Swami. Vegas has 41.
I think as you know, Vegas has got to encourage betting. I think this is a 31.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next game here. We got 2 more to go here. Dallas and Washington. Willie's Commanders. Do you fire up Dak, CD, Ferguson, Pollard? You get them all in there, Willie?
Yeah, and I think a contrarian way to look at it is if you do Dak, Cook, and Pollard. I think Pollard is a man of interest to me in this game, going against the Commanders. Because everybody, listen, dude, everybody and their mother playing Lamb. Okay, everybody and their mother's playing Lamb. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to have a lot of Lamb, but I'm going to have lineups where I will have Cook and Pollard. You know, instead of going with Lamb, you understand what I'm saying? I'm going to be playing it different in there because everybody's going to go. I mean, Lamb, of course, most likely he's showing on everything, the top of every board. But we know how this thing goes sometimes. When we try to, when we go back to somebody, which I am going to go back and have my lineups, but I'm going to have to vary it too. But I think Pollard could be a guy that could be a good leverage play off of Lamb, and you go with Cook. So I mean that's what I'm thinking. I mean, or of course you could play Dak, Lamb, and Cook. Because the Commanders are but don't shake your head, man. I'm telling you, Pollard is a man of interest in this game.
Swami, is Tyrone speaking out of the other side of his neck?
At the top, my good buddy, you can always call on Tyrone, Doc. Let me give you. Hey, boys and gals out there in fantasy football land. Let me give you some stats for Mr. 10,000 CD Lamb. 14 fantasy points, 10 fantasy points, 21, 16, and 17 fantasy points, respectively. What does it tell you in this division game, the last week of the season, which the Cowboys are likely to control and not need to throw it back and forth and anything like that in the second half? It tells you no. It's a popular song. It is a no. It's a hard.
Would you play the Cowboys defense?
I think the Cowboys defense is a better play than CeeDee Lamb this week. It's a no. Is
Willie right about Brandon Cooks or Ferguson or Pollard?
Yes, Willie's right about that. He's just not that CeeDee Lamb play at 10,000. That is an irresponsible play this week, especially after that game last week. No.
But that was my whole premise. You look like I'm talking about. I was saying what I like going to Lamb and I like Pollard in this game. That's what I was saying. People are
only talking about the Lamb part.
No Lamb. I mean, we can't. No
Lamb.
You can't dismiss.
Did we learn a lesson last week with Christian McCaffrey, who we all played, and he did not come close. He got hurt, and any lineup that had McCaffrey was lighting money on fire.
I told Walls that. I told him.
McCaffrey wasn't on my list last week. He
was on all-out list, but me and you talked about him later.
We talked about it later. We started getting off of him. Remember, we started getting off of him later. We kept saying we didn't like something about it.
How come we didn't get to those phone calls? How come I didn't hear about this?
Because it was still a good play. He got injured, Doc. We can't predict. We never predict or even try.
You're the great Swami. You see things.
No, but I don't see him getting injured, Doc. No, I let me knock on wood. I don't even talk about.
But even before the injury, he wasn't killing. He was
not killing.
He was still going to have a good game. He just wasn't going to have a ceiling game.
Yeah.
Right. He was not having a ceiling game.
No.
All right, Willie. The FanDuel, Miami Buffalo. Who is your Buffalo Bills or Miami Dolphin?
Davis.
Play?
Davis is a lock button in this game. Davis. Yes. Davis. You know why? Because they play a lot of zone. They're going to put Ramsey on Diggs. Okay. And Davis does well against them. This is the type of matchup. And who's on the other side? Eli. What's his name?
Eli Apple. He likes to pull shirts.
Yeah, Eli, who got lit up for 104 yards. I'm just telling you, That's why I'm telling you in this game, Davis. Listen, I am not normally on Gabe, but this is a Gabe game.
Did you say you're not normally on Davis?
No, I haven't.
Danger, roll the tape, please. Danger.
No, I have not talked Gabe Davis in weeks.
10 times this
in
year.
weeks. I have not talked Gabe Davis in weeks. But this is.
Did he say Gabe Davis's cheeks?
I'm telling you. But Gabe Davis, I love Gabe Davis, and this can also be, this will also be a bounce back for Cook, because his last two opponents was really hard to run the ball against. But Gabe Davis, I'm telling you guys, Gabe Davis, look at him in this game.
Swami, do you like anything in this game? Do you like Josh Allen in this game?
Yes. Josh Allen is the one, I would say, rock, right? Is the one person is going to be involved, is going to show up. Will it be Cooks? If I was a bet man, I would be betting with Stephon Diggs this week. I think he's been quiet. He's probably the one that's 13 months, if anybody. I don't think that I don't think you go wrong with, say, Diggs and Allen. I don't know if I like. I don't think I can go anywhere near Gabe Davis. I'm sorry, sir. I just can't. Diggs,
hey, you gotta embrace it. Listen, let me
tell you about Diggs real quick. Diggs has been held under what we call single ladies, Doc. All the single ladies. It means he's gotten single-digit fantasy points for maybe the last 4 or 5 weeks. If you remember the last time he played them in week 4, he had 33 points. But remember, some of it was like some magical stuff. They were running into each other and all that. But anyway, he still had a great game with 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think it's probably time for him to have a game more than anybody else on the offense. So I would probably go with Diggs.
But this is the only.
See what Isaac Kidd said about you, Willie?
What?
You're straight tripping with Gabe Davis.
Oh, absolutely. Gabe, you go and listen. This is only on FanDuel. Hey, in the single game slate, Gabe is locked in, baby. Gabe Davis. I'm telling y'all. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see next week when we do the playoffs.
All right, give me the stack of the week, Willie.
Stack of the week. Okay, hold on. Let me go to something that people are not going to be.
Oh my God, it's week 18. Just don't delay.
Hold on. Okay, stack of the week. Oh man, I just had it in my head. Get Swami first. Get Swami first. Not go next.
Swami, I got the flu. Help me out here.
My goodness, Doc. I think this week, first I'm going to give you I'm not going to give it to you stack, which I think would be Baker Mayfield, Evans, and White. I've done this a few times, right? I think that's a very, very interesting stack. And then on the other end, I think I'm very interested in going with Mullins, with Munt, and Jefferson. I think I'm very interested in
hold the Munt, give me the Jefferson. I like it.
Right. Only reason, look at what he did going to the tight end, right? And remember, Mullins is, he's a little bit of a gunslinger, right? He's out there letting it rip. He didn't necessarily play the full game with him last week, but I think he had some decent numbers last week. And at 3,000, I would be more interested in him than some of them $2,500 guys.
I mean, Munt has had 10 targets in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I mean, you see what his production was last week.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. All right, Willie, what's your stack?
Give me Geno. Okay, give me JSN, and I run it back with Connor.
Like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Doc, can you just let Willie know that a stack, right? We talk about a stack. He keeps coming up with these short stacks, right? He thinks
well, sir.
3 pieces.
Actually, that's 3. I said Geno,
3 pieces from
and
the
run it back with Connor. What did you do?
No, a quarterback and 2. 1 and 2.
Quarterback and 2 is a stack.
That's what he said.
Oh, okay. No. I got this. All right. No, since you did yours the way you did, I'm gonna do mine.
Well, he had a skinny stack. He didn't have a thick one.
Always skinny.
Okay, but listen. Give me Dak. Give me
Pollard.
No. Give me Paul and give me Cook.
All right. Since that's a chalky stack, now give us.
No. Come on, man.
Give us your other.
I mean, come on.
All right.
Let me. Whoa. Let me give you another one. You went through that wasn't. I gave you one. It was a back and forth game that I gave you. You know what? Listen, I'm through. But hey, let me give you my balls to walls call.
All right, Boston. Wait. I didn't give a stack. How come I don't get to give a stack? Man, Willie gives a stack. The truth is, I like both your stacks. I like the Minnesota stack. I like the Seattle stack. I think they're smart. A lot of people are going to go Dallas. Don't go Dallas. Don't go Dallas. All right, balls to the walls. Call, Willie.
Give me Bell, David Bell for San Francisco.
Wait, Ronnie Bell or
Ronnie
David
Bell?
Bell?
Yes, Ronnie Bell for San Francisco. I already told you about Davis Allen, and I'll give you one Richie James, two $3,000 crappers and a $2,500 crapper. Yeah, you talking about we want to reach, baby? We're reaching. Don't give me something that I can give you, DJ Moore. Come on, sir, reach.
Swami, help us out here. He's all into Richie James.
Doc, the reach I was trying to describe to him is not that reach, right? He's doing a toilet.
An end around.
Because he gave some pure. I'm talking about some plays are awful that he just gave out.
Oh, no. And Gabe Davis on FanDuel. Go.
Now, I'm not mad at him in a single game slate because he mentioned him in a single game slate, Doc, but that is pretty much awful. I think we've already talked about Slayton. I don't feel like he's a guy that I would call like a balls to the walls call. He was maybe the last kind of 2 weeks. So I'm going to get away from Mr. Slayton this week. And I think this week somebody that I think could that nobody's kind of looking at, maybe going a little bit under the radar. Let's go with let's go Curtis Samuel.
Again with the Curtis Samuel?
All right. I mean, you're Rashid, his Dortch. I figured I'd give my gods.
Here's Jonathan Mingo. Is he coming out of retirement? All right, I'm giving you mine while you look. Jordan Mason. Play Jordan Mason. He is legit.
Okay. I'm going to play him because you said play him, Doc, but I'm playing him under
he's definitely a man of interest.
Because I'm scared of those games where people don't have anything to play for.
A little Jordan Mason coming back with a little Davis Allen. I have no problem with that, even though I do like Munt. Johnny Munt cake. All right, give me your guy, Swami. You got to go.
Oh, you need another guy?
NyQuil.
I'll give you one more guy then. Here's my guy, Drake London.
I like it. That I like.
Keep an eye out for him.
All right. If you're listening tomorrow, I'll be on from 3 to 5 on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio. Swami will be joining me at 4:15. I didn't want, your Ravens were playing. I didn't want to do a 4:30. I wanted you to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking it. Okay. All right. For Willie, the Swami, and Doc, be well and
take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.